You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the March 13th meeting of the Michigan City Sustainability Commission. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
All right, we're calling the meeting to order again at 4:32, and it's time for the roll call.
Tim Bauer.
Here.
Michelle Basta.
Excused.
Tristan Bogert.
Here.
Andy Jans Davis.
Excused.
Beverly McMartin.
Here.
Faye Moore.
Here.
Abigail Neary.
Here.
Lawrence Zimmer. Here. Bailey Chavez. No, excused or absent. Angela Reynolds. Absent. And then Nancy Moldenauer.
Here.
All right.
We have a quorum.
Awesome. Is there a motion to approve February 2025 minutes?
I motion to pass February 2025.
Thanks for the motion. Is there a second?
I second it.
Faye Moore, seconds. All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Cool. Anyone opposed? Awesome. That passes. And Nancy said she would like to do the brief discussion and vote on changes in our commission ordinance.
Yeah, thank you. Andy and I were supposed to be doing this together, but obviously Andy isn't here, so I'll be standing in. We actually started this process in 2022. I found the old email when we had contacted our prior city council liaison and two people that were responsible for creating the commission, and we laid down back then what major issues were with our ordinance, and unfortunately did not receive a reply back, and none of them are here anymore. So for the last couple of years, Andy and I have been working on these updates and revisions for our ordinance. So that's the background, so all of you are aware that this just didn't happen, recently. Okay, so the first point is we would like to increase the number of student commissioners from 4 to 8. And I realize those 2-year terms aren't going to work out because students go from school to school, because sometimes they go from the middle school to the high school. So I don't know. Let's talk about it if we think a 1-year or a 2-year term is going to work out. The thing about the 1-year term is we're always having to gather all of this paperwork for the clerk's office, and it really gets to be a mess, So if you are okay with just rolling middle schoolers over to the high school, then I think we could get away with a 2-year term. Any thoughts on that?
I agree.
I agree.
I agree
Okay.
also.
So we'll keep the 2-year, we'll institute a 2-year actually because it's 1 year right now. Okay. And then we felt we could probably go up to 8, just keep them one less than us. They're a voice but no vote anyhow, because we've had students contact us about wanting to be a part of what we're doing and we haven't had open seats. And I hate to say no to everybody, to be honest with you. So we don't like to ask them to leave at 1 year. And we're going to remove the link of students to specific schools because that has turned out to be a real burden, trying to get responses from the principals and the science teachers. And we've gotten some of our most active and best student commissioners from recommendations of their mother or their aunt, and they've turned out to be, really great members of our commission. So if that sounds okay, then we'll get recommendations from the schools, the community, and then our commission will actually appoint the student commissioners. So we're not waiting for a responsive letter from a principal.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Is that clear? Does that make sense? Okay, so on number one, that seems fine. Anybody have any questions or input on that or anything else? Yes, Tristan?
Yeah, so with us now opening up the schools, like, well, school choice, like, are we sticking to a certain
Oh, does it go back to him?
I've actually opened it up to LaPorte County because then we can include Renaissance, we can include La Lumiere, and with LaPorte and Porter County, then also we have the Discovery School that will be able to appoint.
So I have a question about why would we include Porter County?
Because guess what school is there? The Pines
Oh, okay,
and Discovery.
Wow. Right.
The Discovery Charter School is there also, which is the sole environmental school in our area.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, and they have a lot of Michigan City students.
They have a lot of Michigan students. You're right, Jim.
I have a question.
Yeah,
Do we include the Catholic high schools?
yeah.
Okay.
Very fair market.
We've had Marquette High School.
Okay.
Yes, definitely. Okay, anything else? Oh, I forgot to say, he was self-referred. Tristan was self-referred. He contacted City Councilman Michael Mack and asked how to become involved.
Oh.
So,
Cool.
yeah, okay, so number one seems fine then? Yes, okay. Let's move on to number two. It's to remove the representative from the Michigan City Development Corporation per their executive director's request because they just don't have time or the bandwidth to be able to appoint somebody. And changing it to a priority of at least one business or corporate representative. So that means out of the 9 of us, at least one should be from a business or a company.
Does it have to be a retail business?
No,
Okay.
you got Beverly Mac Martin.
Beverly Mac Martin is
Yeah,
a
I own my own
representative right
business.
now.
I'm a corporation.
Okay,
And you have a corporation also?
yeah, he does too, yeah.
So
And
we have to-
Beverly came to us because of Clarence, but, she will continue then just as a representative for a business then. I think it's important to have that balance, between what we're doing here.
Right, oh,
business and
definitely.
service.
Definitely need business.
Okay, is number 2 fine then?
Yes.
Okay, moving on to number 3, raising the years of possible service from 6 to 8 or 10, and what that would amount to is 5 2-year terms or 6 2-year terms. And Andy and I were just basing this on the complexity and length of our projects. If we were on our usual schedule, I would have rolled off last year, and Andy would roll off this year. And then all of those projects that we had going on, they would have been basically left without the coordinator for those,
What do other boards do?
Some have no
No limits.
term or
No term
year limit
limits.
at all.
Most of them have no term limits.
None at all. And if I may speak, what we find is sometimes people never leave,
Right,
and then the board, commission, or committee becomes
stagnant.
Thank you. It becomes stagnant. So it is good to have, a churning of members.
But what they do though is that their term expire in 2 years, but then whatever organization or group that they are represented, they usually just have them send a letter to re-up their term.
So anyhow, I guess, it's really up to you to decide would 8 or 10-year limit.
Is that cumulative? Is that in a row or cumulative?
That's consecutive. That would be consecutive. And then a person could roll off for a term and come back. Okay, so you're not saying that they could never serve again, but you're saying sort of like take a break and decide if it's something that you want to pick up again.
Are we wanting to approve this meeting or next meeting?
We want to get this through if at all possible.
So a term is 2 years then?
Mhm.
So somebody could come back after 2 years?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And
That's
take
right.
like a vacation.
Because I don't have personally, I'm not sure 6, 8, 10, 12, which makes the most sense right away.
I think I'd be inclined to start with the lower number,
The
just 5.
Okay,
5 2-year terms, right? Isn't that the lowest?
No.
yeah, 5 2-year terms, that's the lowest, yeah.
Well, you have
No, you have
8.
6 2-year terms.
So, because currently it's 6 years, and then on the paper, you can interpret it as saying, 3, 4, 5, or 6.
Oh, you know
terms.
what, my dyslexic brain made a mistake there, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
What do you mean it to say?
I meant it to say 8, which would be 4 2-year terms, and then 10 would be
5.
5
5
2-year
2-year
terms.
terms.
Yeah, so, Larry, your recommendation would be to begin with the lower number, which would be 8,
Yeah.
and that would be 4 2-year terms with a roll-off of 2.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay, and then, okay, any more questions or comments regarding point number 3?
I have a question. Is this the Michigan City Redevelopment Corporation or the Michigan City Economic Development Corporation?
It should have been economic.
Economic Development
Okay.
Corporation, yeah.
Right, did anybody else have thoughts on number 3 before we move to 4?
I'm good with 8 or 10.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I guess, do we want to accept Larry's thoughts on beginning with 8 and see how that goes?
I'm good with it.
Or do we want to just go with a larger number of 10 and then we're done with it once and forever?
That's fine too, sure.
I kind of lean towards 8, but not in a strong way.
Because you can leave anytime you want, right? It's like not like you're not locked
Hand
into.
in a resignation letter, yes.
Okay.
I guess the other question though is how hard has it been to recruit new people to the commission? So is there enough turnover that we'd want shorter terms rather than longer terms?
It's waxed and weaned.
It's really the projects. Most of the
Mhm.
projects take longer
Yeah.
than 2 years to complete,
Mm-hmm.
especially since sustainability is kind of new. Environmental issues are
Well, and there's always something new popping up too.
right, right.
Yeah.
Especially
right.
with this renewable energy
renewable energy. Yes, yes.
alone.
Mm-hmm.
So that we really haven't had a real problem recruiting, but people have had issues come up that they've cut their term shorter. So,
Gotcha.
but then the projects are, it makes it hard, especially if the chair of the project has to leave because their term is up,
Mhm.
and there's nobody really capable of finishing up that project because
Yeah.
they don't have the experience or the
The
background.
whole history, yeah, too.
Tristan, thoughts?
I would say do the 10, just to get up.
Just do it and then we're done
Yeah,
with
that
it.
would not come back and redo it and reinventing the wheel.
Yeah, I would almost agree with that, because it is quite burdensome to update an ordinance. It is.
Yeah.
Okay, so if nobody has really strong objections to that, let's just go with that larger number now, and then we're done with that. Okay, especially since Larry and, yeah, that's right. Tim both said leaning towards but not strongly against. Okay. Okay, good, okay. Fourth point is adding air and land to water and energy as resources. I was part of the first committee that did this, and I don't know why we did not
Put the
down
air and the water,
land.
right.
Except I know Dahlia had a very strong affinity for water quality, and she was one of the members. And then energy, of course, if we're talking about sustainability.
Right.
So does anybody object to air and land being added?
Add it.
No.
Okay, 100% agreement, no discussion, thank you. Number 5 is expanding commissioner appointments to include those who live or work within the greater Michigan City area. Okay, we have run up recently with people we were trying to get from corporations that worked in Michigan City but did not live in Michigan City, and we passed up on a couple high-quality people that I think we would have wanted to be here and to, have been a commissioner.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Is there a way we define work? Like full-time, or, I'm just curious.
I don't think it matters.
Okay.
I don't think it should matter whether it's full-time or part-time,
Okay.
as long as they work in the community. Because most people that work in the community have an interest in the community and what goes on in that community, or else they wouldn't have accepted the job in the first place.
Okay, and then down here, this is where I included students within the Port and Porter County, and we talked about that already, so I think we're fine with that. Okay, any other thoughts or questions regarding the 5th point? Okay, and then the 6th point is to change from 5 members shall constitute a quorum to 50% of the appointed commissioners shall constitute a quorum. This is in case we were to have a couple positions that weren't filled, that we didn't come to a meeting and we weren't able to vote on things just because we didn't have all 9 commissioners appointed. When I've been on governance committees at a lot of the nonprofits that I've served on, we've made this change. So a board or a committee or a commission doesn't become paralyzed and they're not able to do any business just because of empty vacancies.
Right.
Makes sense.
Yep, that sounds good to me.
Any questions or comments on that? Okay, so then major points taken care of. Andy and I have been working on the document now for 2 years, the actual ordinance. So I'll just need to go in and tighten up a couple of these things that, the numbers that need to be changed and the counties and stuff like that. How I would like to proceed from here is for me to just send that out to you, or Andy to send that out to you in an email for you to look it over to be sure that what we've talked about reflects the conversation we had today. And then Mr. Chairperson, Mr. Assistant Chairperson, not conducting the meeting today, I would like to call for a vote on all of these changes as a package and not to vote on each of them individually.
So we're voting to approve this, but then
Yes.
we're not going to actually see the document till later.
Right, yeah.
Right, we're
exactly.
voting that the changes can be made.
We're voting the changes can be made, exactly. All right. Okay.
Is there a motion?
I make a motion.
A second.
Alright, all those in favor of these changes to our commission ordinance?
Aye.
Anyone abstain or noes? Alright, that passes unanimously.
Okay.
Alright, cool. Well,
Tim, thank you for letting me do that. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
for sure. Alright, cool. Project teams. Explore use of biodiesel by City Fleet and Billionaire. Do you have
No.
any updates?
No updates.
Awesome. Solar power for city government. Tristan, do you have any updates?
No updates.
Cool. Electric municipal vehicle project, Michigan City Police, Transit. Tristan, any updates?
Just waiting on the chief to reply to us.
Alright, cool. We'll hopefully hear back. green burials and burial sections, Lawrence, and I believe you all probably have updates.
Do you want to do it, Abby? Just tell them what we did the other day.
Oh, okay. So on 3/11, the Green Burial Commission met. It was Bloomington, right?
With the operations manager in Bloomington. Yes.
Yeah, for White Oak Cemetery in
Yes.
Bloomington, because they've been doing burials. And she said their green burials are all sold out, and they keep getting calls about it. But there's no plans at this time to designate more space. That was one of the things the committee was worried about, is what's the demand for it? If we set aside space, is there going to be enough demand for it? Bloomington said at this time there's no plans to designate more space, but they might, just based on demand. There's also some logistics things about what we've talked with Michigan City about requiring a vault. So you can't just have a body in a shroud and put it in a mound, that you'd have to require some sort of vault for it. Bloomington doesn't actually require one. And there is no state law that requires a vault. It falls on the particular cemeteries for their rules. So very interesting. What did I miss? Those are kind of the key notes I took. And then we've got 2 more meetings next week.
One more next week.
One more? Oh, I thought there were 2 next week. Okay.
And then we're preparing our presentation for the not only for the Earth Day event, but also the event that's at the State Park Pavilion for the League of Women Voters. I forgot what it was called. Something about riding the wave or something.
It's around Lake Michigan.
Yeah, something like that. So we're going to be at that one in April. We'll be at both of those in April to help spread the word about green burials and gauge public interest in it. So we plan on laying out all the information on some display boards to have on the tables and talk with people and ask them to vote on different options that are available, whether it's traditional burial, cremation, or green burial.
Sail away into Lake Michigan's future.
That's it. Sail away.
Any questions, comments? We good? Cool. Thanks for the
You had a
update.
newspaper article too.
Yeah, we were in the paper again last week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Only because Donovan, the reporter he watches these recordings and then he generates stories out of what he sees in the meeting. So,
Interesting.
yeah.
Darn it, I missed it.
So free publicity.
Yeah, that's great.
Cool. So waste reduction, I don't think there's been updates on this in a while. So
Well, what I can tell you is Chris Carter, the superintendent of the refuse department, approached me and said he wants to offer recycling workshops for the community. Yeah, because there's going to be an initiative on reducing the amount of trash that we have going to the landfill. And he and most of us believe people just don't know what to do with those recycling containers, what goes in and what doesn't go in them. So we'll be coordinating with him and Sachiki Burns of the LaPorte County Solid Waste District. She already agreed to do workshops here in Michigan City, so I know she's on board. Chris is on board, and Don Prispolinski is the new president of the LaPorte County Solid Waste District. So we'll want to be sure he's in the mix too. Okay, so there is movement forward.
all right, cool. Promoting Soul Smart Silver designation with IU, Nancy, Tristan, Angie, Beverly. Any updates?
Yes. Randy Novak has gotten back with me and has been following very closely what's happening over at LaPorte County government. The revisions are now in the Plan Commission. And as soon as they approve those, then it needs to go back to the LaPorte County Commission as a whole. So there needs to be 2 votes. honestly, I'm getting very nervous about what the federal government is shutting down right now in the Department of Energy. And I don't know, it could be that possibly SoulSmart could end up on the chopping block. I just don't know. So we're going to institute Plan B, and we've had this now for a while. So I just sent out an email to Kelly, to Skylar York, in the planning department here. He's not development director, he got promoted. Asking that a letter be generated that states this is the change that needs to be made in the ordinance and we're waiting, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, we're gonna make public notice of this by putting it on the city's website, okay? So we get the letter, we post it, that letter will be submitted to the United States Department of Energy's SoulSmart program. And with the public notice and with them receiving that, hopefully we can get approval and just be done with all of this. And then if LaPorte County comes through with the, corrected ordinance, then we can take that and publish it on the municipal website. Okay, so we're gonna get this done. We've been working on waiting for this for probably close to a year now. In April, May, it will be a year. Okay?
All right, great. Any questions, comments? Cool. Carbon neutral Indiana, Nancy Faye Lawrence. Any
Nothing.
No updates.
Cool. All right, contract with Performance Services under $98,000 grant from Office of Energy Development. Nancy, do you have an update?
Yeah, it appears that Nick Allen of Performance Services has accepted the usual agreement that the city uses for consulting services, as long as an attachment was added specifying the range of services, okay? So as long as that gets done, then it will be ready for sign off by Mayor Angie, okay? And we're in process of scheduling a meeting in March with Brendan, David, and our project team. The other thing is, this is another one I'm getting really nervous about because the funding for this project came from the United States Department of Energy. And from what I'm seeing, it looks like things are just getting slashed and burnt. So honestly, I'm glad that they're moving so slowly on this project because I wouldn't want to get into some really heavy investments by Performance Services and then them not being able to get reimbursed and the city potentially being on the hook for expenses that they've incurred, okay? So just sort of feeling things out right now. I know that Beverly and I have been watching the press releases and updates and everything else, and it just seems that everything is just cut. So,
Because I talked to Weatherization today, and they're closing as of tomorrow.
wow.
What's weatherization?
So at North Central?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Are they just closing down that program, or are they closing down the whole agency?
My understanding is that the office, as of tomorrow, is closed because they have no funding. And they don't know how deeply this slash is going to be. So they don't have any funding for weatherization projects, and they don't know if that's going to include their staff as well.
So the exact name of that agency is what? The exact name?
Well, in Michigan City,
Yeah.
it's under the North Central Community Action Agency. Sydney Davis, the executive director.
North Central Community.
Community Action, North Central Community Action Agency. And Sydney Davis is the executive director.
Okay.
And weatherization is one of their programs.
One of our
That's
programs.
one of their programs.
It's one of our programs.
So I think we probably need to get clarity on if it's that program that's being cut or if it's the whole staff that's being let go. I think there's a difference there.
But it's not, well, our meeting is Monday, coming third Monday.
Oh, okay.
So
Faye, can you get back with Andy and me then?
I won't be there, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're not gonna
I'll
be
be
there.
down in Indy for Legislative Day.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
But from our packet that came, we got our board packet, and it sounds like it's gonna be, the program itself is being cut because lack of funding.
Okay.
Any other?
But I can follow up with it for between now and our next meeting. I can do that. You know, I won't be at the meeting Monday.
Cool. Any other thoughts? You good? All right. Northwest Indiana Region Resilience Action Planning Work Group. Nancy, Tristan, Andy. Do y'all have any updates? Nope. Okay.
No, yeah, because you do.
Okay.
You do. That's where all your stuff is at. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we did a green drink about a few days ago, Monday, where we went over pollinator gardens and just pollinator gardening in general. I provided an update in regards to where we're at currently with getting certified. Not too much movement, but what I've been told is that more people are going to be certifying, so I expect an uptick, probably coming next commission meeting regarding those numbers. And then just did like a overall shout out of the program and went over how to certify and what counts and stuff like that. Which to throw out there, so the end of March, so March 31st, so with the certification, which is a $25 thing fee, you can get like a flag or sign for just 18 extra, and that's till the 31st. Usually, those two things are more expensive.
Cool.
What are your numbers?
So right now we're at 65 out of 250. That's the main thing that we need to reach. Then we have the categories. So the first category, which is registration, you need 40 points total. Right now we're at 25. So obviously, you know, we're working on that end. Second category is education. Again, we need 40. Right now we're at 15. And then community outreach, we need 50 points total. We're currently at 25. And then lastly, administration, we need 20 points, we're at 5.
Cool. Any questions, comments? You good, Tristan?
Okay.
All right. Awesome.
I just want to acknowledge Tristan. He's doing such an excellent job and has moved this forward so quickly from registration to where we are now. So, really job well done.
Thank you.
Cool. Thanks, Tristan. All right. Soul Power. Anita, Faye, Nancy, you got anything about Soul Power? Nope.
Nothing
The
new.
underlined black is the new stuff, Faye.
Okay. So, 3 NAPSAT installation professional and the NECA, the National Electric Code certified tier 3 for a total of 41 certificates earned. And 3 of the 4 students have completed the highest level of NAPSAT, installation professional, and the NEC, National Electrical Code certification, with last one still working on it or has dropped out, not getting any information from them. Tier 2 session, 6 students are in final weeks of their coursework, and then they will take their tests in a few weeks.
And And I did hear back from Danita, and that person is still working on their certification, yeah.
So they are still.
Yeah, I heard it both ways, so I was confused, so we do need to remove has dropped out, Larry. Thank you.
What's that?
We need to remove has dropped out.
Has dropped out or has dropped out.
Yeah, it's underlined.
Okay, so take out or
Yeah,
has
just
dropped out?
Yeah,
Mhm.
remove
They're
has,
still working
or
on
has
it.
dropped out, just remove that.
Okay.
Cool.
We're good? Any other
Yes.
soul power thoughts? All right. Solar United Neighbors, Andy, Nancy, Faye, and
Oh, I'm
Abby.
sorry, I should mention, I forwarded to everybody the email from Danita Scully.
Yeah, I did.
It was a very nice synopsis of their program and what they're doing. And at the very bottom of that, there was a request for donations. So I just wanted to make an announcement to the whole community, anybody that is so moved, they would really appreciate donations so that they can continue their training.
Thanks. Is there any Solar United Neighbor updates?
I did meet up with the Faith in Place coordinator at the Indiana Sustainability Conference in Bloomington when I went down there. And she took down names and contact information for the ministers of the 4 churches here in the Uptown Arts District, because most of them at some point in time, they or their congregants have expressed an interest in putting solar panels on their church buildings. So she has those, and the mayor's office was very supportive of doing a workshop with them and the nonprofits in Michigan City to include both groups. So I've given that to her, and hopefully she's going to move forward with that.
Great.
They are getting ready to do a class. I might not find it in time.
Should we come back to it during
Yeah, okay,
announcements?
come back to it.
All right. Cool. There's nothing else. Hoosiers for Community Solar Coalition. Abby, any updates?
I mean, Nancy, thanks for updating this. All 3 bills for community solar have died without hearings.
Mm.
So hopefully a strategy based on lessons learned can be developed for next year.
All right. Well, not encouraging.
No.
Sorry, I started sarcastic.
Wait. I found it.
You got
I got
it.
it.
Good.
Okay, so Solar United Neighbors is getting ready to do a Go Solar virtual coffee chat on Tuesday, March the 25th, from 12 to 1. And you just go to Solar United Neighbors to register. You do need to register so they can send you the link for the chat. Just go to Solar United Neighbors and register, and it's March, if you're available, Tuesday, March 25th, from 12 noon to 1. So it's only gonna be an hour. Join the coffee chat so you can learn more about the process of getting solar, if you are still interested.
Cool. Thanks, Benny. All right. So that's moving. There's no questions. Let's move into Caught You Being Green. Andy's not here. I guess I can do the update. Earth Month extravaganza, which Andy put so much work into. Thank you,
Yes.
Andy. I don't know if maybe you're watching this, so thanks, Andy. It's at the Senior Center this year. Hopefully it's a great new venue for us. April 26th, 12 to 3. We've got electric vehicles. We have a beach cleanup starting at 10:30. There's a Facebook event made. There's gonna be a lot of cool things there, so spread the word. Come, it's free.
All right, I was at a meeting Saturday, and some people are planning on being there, and they're excited about it.
Yeah,
So
so
look forward to it.
especially if you know anyone who makes sense to table at it, let them know. Tristan.
Yeah, to add, we met with Triton Indiana on Wednesday, Tuesday, possibly Wednesday, one of the two. I think it's the next one this week. But we're moving forward with getting dealers scheduled we're going to be reaching out to dealers to get, a lineup there going. Dry Clean Indiana's on board with everything, and they're going to be helping us market the event and get it out there. And
That's great.
that's just a general update that I had.
And I'll give one quick update too. Andy sent me an article that is going to be published in Lakefront Living and Lake Life magazine in their April issue, which will come out before the event.
Awesome.
Great.
And I know that she sent out a press release to the local newspapers, the Northwest Indiana Times, the Beecher. Yeah, I think that was it.
Cool. And then also it looks like Larry and Abby, they'll be at the Sail Away into Lake Michigan's Future, put on by the League of Women Voters, Thursday, April 10th, 9 to 3 at the Indiana Dunes State Park Pavilion. What a wonderful place. Thanks for doing that. And then, I must say, I read this before we got to it. Vote to sign up. Do we need to vote on something?
Oh, this is what Nancy sent us via email to review.
Yeah, to review beforehand, yeah. We do need to vote on this.
Okay.
This actually is to sign on to the Indiana Water Allies with the Indiana Conservation Voters opposing the following bill. It's HB 1037, will harm environmental and public health as well as quality of life in many cities and towns. Similarly, effects will be felt well beyond these municipal boundaries when stormwater volumes, sediment, and other pollution from development activities impact drainage, ecology, and property downstream. If more stormwater practitioners and local public officials were involved in the development of this bill, a more complete cost-benefit analysis would have spotlighted this adverse effects. It appears that HB 1037's beneficiaries start and end with construction and real estate developers, as local communities are not served in any positive way by its outcomes. Basically, right now, any type of construction or landscaping that's being done, they have to put up the plastic barriers with the stakes in the ground to hold any loose soil that is churned up because of the process of digging holes or preparing the land or whatever, to hold back all that soil so it's not swept away during rain events. If it's swept away, then it ends up going in the storm sewer, which ends up in Lake Michigan, or it ends up going into Trail Creek, which ends up going into Lake Michigan. So this is a very important barrier. This bill doesn't support that practice, which has been law for a long time, okay? So basically, the Indiana Water Allies and the Indiana Conservation Voters is asking us as a municipal sustainability commission to sign on to this so that they have support of our city, basically.
Great. So, is there a motion to approve signing on to this?
Motion.
Cool. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Cool. Thanks for the second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any noes? Any abstains? Cool. It passes. Great.
Thank you, everybody.
All right. Thank you. Any commission comments? Great. Nothing to say. Awesome. Oh, you got something. Cool.
I just wanted to let the commission know that the list developers program I was in is now completed, and I will be graduating in May.
Yay!
Congratulations.
So I am a new real estate developer.
Oh, look at you.
Great.
Well, we know you'll put up the barriers.
That's why I was making sure that I knew exactly what this was.
All right. Cool. Thanks.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I would like to thank Nancy for working on our ordinance and trying to make those or get those changes, because I know it's not easy.
Nancy and Andy.
And Andy. And working on that, because that's not an easy task. So thank you, ladies.
You're welcome. It's one of those projects that won't go away.
Right. Well, as we continue to, grow and we learn, and you have to make changes.
Yeah.
That shows that you're progressing and you're not stagnant.
All right. Any other commission comments?
Never too old to learn.
Right.
All right. Public comments. We do have public here.
Hi, I guess I represent the public.
Hi,
Hi.
welcome.
Thank you. My name is Eileen Mark. I was invited by Andy. I had met Nancy, I think it was 2 years ago at the Earth Day extravaganza that was at the Lubeznik, which was really, really extraordinary. First, I would just like to say thank you for your service. Sitting here, going through this agenda, I'm really impressed and really interested in everything on this handout. Green burials, wow, I definitely want to learn more. So thank you so much for your service. You are clearly doing outstanding work. I'm so impressed. I know Andy's term is ending soon, so she suggested that I get involved. I'm definitely somebody who is an environmentalist. I try very hard to keep a light footprint. I work remotely. Everything I do is very calculated. I try not to burn fossil fuels as much as possible. I recycle. I was a Peace Corps volunteer. That's how I ended up here, because unfortunately my service got cut short due to an illness. I actually almost lost my life. And I ended up in Michigan City to just kind of heal with the lakefront and the national park. Then I started volunteering in the park. Then I just didn't want to go back to Illinois, which is where I was from, because I just fell in love with the area. And I ended up buying a home here last year. And I'm absolutely loving it. I'm a former educator. I used to teach Spanish and bilingual education, and I'm also an entrepreneur. I have had 5 small businesses throughout my lifetime, one medium-sized, an insurance agency. So as you can see, my career has been all over the place. Speaking Spanish will do that. You will go to different areas. It's a really good skill to have because you can pivot quite easily. But I'm definitely passionate about environmentalism, definitely willing to get involved. I'm hoping to, I'm really into planting native species, so I'm hoping to get rid of my front lawn entirely and plant native species. I have some planted already. I would love to help people to do that if they would like to do that. We have so many beautiful native plants in the park that would work really well. No watering, no mowing. Sounds like a win-win to me. I also speak Spanish. I told Andy, I used to work on Chambers of Commerce with my insurance business, where we would talk to restaurant owners about like getting rid of styrofoam, things like this. I have no problem talking to people about that. The education part that you all mentioned is so very important. People, you're right, Nancy, people don't know what belongs in the recycle bin and what I don't know sometimes. I'm like, oh, this pizza box has a tiny grease spot. Should I put it in there?
Right.
So education is just so crucial. And actually that's exactly what I was doing in the Peace Corps. I was really, it was really sad that I had to leave because I was really dug in doing some really important work, but unfortunately, it didn't work out, so.
But fortunately, you're here now.
Exactly, exactly, thank you. So hopefully I can continue to contribute in some way. Thank you for letting me be here.
And if I'm allowed to say, we have received a request to be appointed to the commission. The city council has. We received your request
Okay,
to
great.
be appointed.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
All right. Cool. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Any other public
Well,
comment?
I'm honestly the public now, so this is my chance. I only talked as much as I did in the beginning because Andy wasn't here, okay? So I just want everybody to be very clear on that. I was covering for Andy. So anyhow, just yesterday, and I think it's important for everybody to know this, our governor issued 2 executive orders. One of them removes environmental protections, and it promotes the ease of doing business in Indiana. So I couldn't believe what I read, actually, okay? 2 points to this. It removes environmental protections for the state of Indiana. And we're number 48, 49, or 50 in everything that has to do with the environment, whether it's air quality or, health or anything. You just look at all those measurements, and Indiana is always at the very bottom. So this is serious business here, and I've just been hearing from some of my environmental partners in Northwest Indiana, it's just saying, we've been working on this for 60 years in this state to finally get protections in place, and they were just ripped away from us, and the, carpet has been taken from under our feet. So I think everybody needs to know about that. That was the most recent one, and the one right before that was about environmental justice. So all of the work that's been done in the state of Indiana through the U.S. Department of Energy, through the state agencies, all that's been wiped out, basically. Okay, so the state will not be supporting any of those programs any longer.
Including Justice 40.
Including Justice 40, exactly. That happened at the federal level.
Yeah.
Now, this is the ripple effect.
Trickle down, yeah.
Yeah, the trickle down here. But, and I'll have to, a ray of hope here is a number of the Democratic governors across the whole country, they're refusing to follow what's being dictated to them. So we do have some strong environmentalists still out there that just aren't going to, go with this new program, and they're going to stand their ground and support, measures that protect the health, well-being, and quality of life for the people that live in their states. So I want people to know that. And there are people in the United States Senate and also in Congress that are standing firm also and, doing what they're able to do, but just realize they're facing such overwhelming odds at this point in time. So we still have our champions out there, and, we will persevere and we'll continue to fight the good fight. But I thought it was important for this commission to know that this happened just yesterday.
And I think it's not, this shouldn't mean that we stop making our wishes known. I think we need to encourage everybody to speak up, whether you think he's listening to you or not. Through the website, whatever, just keep contacting him. Do it every week if you have to. They have to know how the other people think. And whether it helps or not, you just have to make your thoughts and wishes known. That's how you resist and fight back.
And also in addition to those emails, I call weekly. I call everybody weekly about something. And I do thank Congressman Frank Ravon for his support and also his care about Northwest Indiana, Region 1 here. So yeah, we have to keep on keeping on it, because if we stop, then they think everybody's fine with everything that's going on, and it's not fine.
No.
So
Thank you for sharing, especially in the constant news things happening. I was not aware of that. So sorry to hear that, but thank you for sharing. Did you have any other comments? All right, cool. Announcements. We've got announcements. I can read these and then we can see if anyone else has announcements. Green Drinks will be Thursday, April 3rd. It's at 6:30 p.m. Promoting the Michigan City Tree Board and its $1 million tree planting grant via Save the Dunes. It's on Facebook Live. It's on Zoom. You can contact M at savedunes.org or look up Green Drinks Michigan City. Groundbreaking ceremony for Homeward Bound Carwood Plaza, Saturday.
Coward Village.
Oh yeah, sorry, I just filled in the blank. Carwick Village, this Saturday, March 15th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Park at Krieger Middle School for shuttle to the site due to no parking. So I assume that's important info, to park at Krieger Middle School for a shuttle or, I don't know, walk or bike there. LaPorte County Master Gardeners Show, Saturday, March 29th, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Michigan City High School, 84.
That's always a great show.
Cool. Yeah, I've never been. maybe this will be the year.
Yeah, you should go.
All right, and it's on Paz Road.
And you get free seeds.
Oh.
The planter, you know,
Starters.
you get vegetables and flowers.
Oh, lovely.
And it's from 8 a.m.
It's
to
usually a $10 fee to get in.
4. Huh. Okay.
They left that out,
All right. Well, they probably make up for it.
but it's worth it. It's really worth it. And they have vendors you can buy stuff or whatever too. They have vendors there to buy stuff. It's just really nice.
Sure, it's better than many things we spend $10 on. The League of Women Voters, they have an event. We already talked about this, but Sail Away into Lake Michigan's Future, Thursday, April 10th, 9 to 3, at the Indiana Dunes State Park Pavilion, and we'll be there. Planet Palooza by Kimmy Gordon, founder of Brown Faces, Green Spaces, April 12th, 11 a.m. to 2:30 at Marquette Park in Gary. I will try to remember to go. Maybe I'll
I
see
think
you
she
there.
was asking for people to table with that too.
Oh,
Yeah, Andy
Yeah.
was, but I
Yeah.
couldn't do that day.
So something to think about. She was asking for tablers.
cool. Sounds good. So if you think you want a table, let us know. And then the Northwest Indiana Earth Day celebration, Porter County Expo Center, 9 to 1. It's a big event. I've been there.
Yeah,
it's fun.
that's a nice one too. Yeah.
I loved all their water barrels last year. That was cool. There was the inspiration for our own. And not the date's not listed, but I'm guessing it's like the
Saturday, April 12th.
Saturday, April 12th. So you can go to that one and then go to ours 2 weeks later. Does anybody else have any announcements?
Don't forget the lunar eclipse tonight.
Oh,
Oh, is it?
Is it tonight? I thought it was tomorrow.
it's tomorrow morning.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I think so. I think
Tomorrow, yeah.
I think if you want to view it, I think it starts becoming visible around 10 or 11 p.m.
Yeah,
Oh,
and then the
okay.
full eclipse is maybe at like 2 a.m.
yeah.
It's one of those moments where
Right.
I'm not going to stay awake and I'll regret it a month later. All right. If there's no other announcement, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Thank you. Is there a second to adjourn?
Second.
Can you Tristan? All right. Vote for
And
this.
I want to acknowledge you being us down by 5:28. Thank you.
Yeah, I
We
love
had
the efficient
discussion
meeting.
at 10:30.
So, all right.